Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So over the 3.5 seasons of The Flash we've had so far hit our screens, we have had many speedsters come and go from the show. Some good, some bad, and some pretty damn evil. This ranging from like one episode threats such as Trajectory to like recurring menaces such as Eobard Thawne aka the Reverse Flash. This season of The Flash was touted as the season of The Flash where speed and speedsters really wouldn't be too involved due to the fact that our main big bad was a non-speedster in the form of Clifford DeVoe, aka the Thinker. And we can see clear that as we have got hardly any Wally West this season before he left and is now on his way over to Legends to hop on board the Wave Rider. And then we had Jesse Quick make like a short cameo via a breakup cube, and Jay Garrick has been non-existent this season. We have yet to see him. Now both Jesse and Jay will be returning this season around episodes 14 and 15 for short stays. And there is even a possibility that Reverse Flash could be showing up as well around that time, but that is yet to be confirmed, so we will just have to watch this space in regards to that. But there is actually another speedster showing up this season, a new speedster that we have never seen before, sort of, and that is a speedster version of Iris West? Yes, that's right. If you watched my video from the other day, we went over some set photos of Candice Patton, who plays Iris West, suited up in a white and dark coloured suit in a park, taking on some criminals. Now this photo, as you would expect, sent the hashtag Flash section on Twitter into a meltdown for some good reasons and some bad. We had the side that loved the idea and the other side that hated the idea. My first impression was, yuck, none of that please, but then 2 seconds later I was like, this could be okay if they don't do the stupid thing. So let's hope they don't actually do that stupid thing. Now, what is the stupid thing, you might be asking? Well, we will get into that in a second. Now, for those that might start the argument around, well, Pagey, how do we know she is a speedster? She might be suited up as a vigilante or something to scare criminals or something like that. Well, firstly, she looks like a speedster. The suit looks like a repurposed, like Jesse Quick / Trajectory suit. So yeah, and also people on set did report that the props going off and certain movements that Candice Patton was doing were very similar to that seen with other speedster scenes. So yeah, Iris is a speedster, and they also confirmed this via Twitter with Candice Patton, who plays Iris, confirming it on Twitter that she is now a speedster. Well, she was doing speedster scenes at least. In this video, we will be going over how Iris West is a speedster now, going over where this Iris could possibly be from and what she is possibly doing showing up in this episode. But do be sure to let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this, as well as your predictions and theories as to where this Iris West is possibly from. I'm very interested to hear everyone's thoughts, and also be sure to leave a like on the video if you're going to enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. So the first option is that this Iris West that is now a speedster is actually another version of Iris West from the multiverse. We have seen Earth 2 Iris, who was a pretty badass cop, so you would have to think that on one of the 52 Earths out there, I guess 53 if you include that weird Earth X, you think out there would also have like a version of Iris where she is a speedster. Not necessarily an Earth where she is the Flash, like the main speedster, but someone where she could be like the Jesse Quick or Wally West of that Earth, if that makes sense, I can't see them using an Earth that we are used to seeing, such as like Earth 2, 3, 19, or even Supergirl's Earth. Well, definitely not Earth 2 because we've had Iris on there established. But hey, there's lots of Earths out there, lots of choices. The next option is that Iris from the future comes back to our time period to lend a hand. So this is Earth 1 Iris, but from the future. In the comics, Iris dies and is sort of brought back to life in the 30th century in a new body and all, and has Don and Dawn Allen in that time period, so gives birth to them. So they might be able to have a go at playing with that part of the character's history. Honestly, this would be confusing, but they could be able to establish that maybe not in the 30th century, but maybe in some form of the future, we have Iris West who is able to get speedster abilities and comes back to help out at a time that she knows needs help. But yeah, this is a weird one, but with a slim chance of working and making sense. So maybe don't hang on to this one as the one that actually, happens on the show. The next option is that this right here actually isn't Iris West, but is actually Jenny Ognatz from the future, otherwise known as XS, and is a part of the Legion of Superheroes in the comics. Now, she is the granddaughter of Barry and Iris and the daughter of Dawn Allen. Now, for all those wondering, well, hold on there, Pagey, that is obviously Candice Patton in that suit that plays Iris. So this is Iris. Are you off your head? Well, yes, I am off my head, but it has been seen across many people that you can look similar, if not exactly the same, as your grandmother if you're obviously a girl. Which is crazy to think, but it is a thing that is seen quite commonly. Google it if you want to. There's a ridiculous amount of examples of people looking exactly like their grandmothers. The only issue is that Jenny is the daughter of Iris's daughter. And usually someone would take on the appearance and looks of the mother of their father. So the grandmother on their father's side, might I say, not on their mother's side. So Jenny, going by the usual proceedings, would take on the look of Nora Allen most likely. However, this is a comic book show, and the fact that Iris is a speedster on the show at all is crazy enough, so I guess twisting this around wouldn't be too big of an unbelievable thing. Also, her suit does resemble that of Jenny Ognat's from the comics. Like, if you're going to compare to any other suit, the suit that this like Candace Patton is wearing in these photos looks most like Jenny Ognat's from the comics. It's just not as revealing. But I'm fairly sure it's cold in Vancouver right now, so they would sort of be crazy to give Candace like short pants for this suit. I think she would sue them. Like, I know I would if I had to wear those. But in regards to Jenny Ognat, she is from the future. Maybe she has decided to come back and help through stuff that she has heard from the future, thinking, okay, I can go back there and stop that right now. But you know, it's hard to pinpoint exactly why she would come back, but it would allow Candace Patton to play a completely different character, not just another version of Iris West, which we have seen her do a few times before, like the Earth 2 version, and even the one in the musical crossover. So this will be a completely different character. The second last option is the stupid one I was speaking of before, the one I would hate if it would be the case, and the one that we actually saw appear on the show. And knowing my luck, this will be the one that happens, because sometimes the Flash is really predictable when it comes to choosing silly options. And this option, might I say, is that the Iris West we see in her speedster suit is the Iris West we see every week, the regular Iris West from Earth 1. Now, the only real reason that I don't like this is due to the fact that it just changes up Iris too much. It changes her story, it changes her from the regular person who can help as much as someone with them, like metahuman powers could do, and they just turn her into like the generic meta, I guess. And that takes all of her characteristics really away from her. Like, she's this normal person who's able to help as much as a meta. It just takes that all away from her. Like, some, if not most of you, may disagree with me completely, but that is just how I see it. Anyway, in regards to how this Iris West would get her hands or feet onto these speedster powers, comes down to two options, I think. If you have another one, feel free to leave it in the comments. Anyway, the first is that she gets them from a pregnancy, which is what a lot of people think is going to happen, which is similar to what we will be seeing in this week's episode of The Flash with Cecile. Now, I think this is a bit out there, seeing that Cecile is only going to be getting like minor telepathy powers from her pregnancy, but when Iris gets pregnant, she gets goddamn speedster powers. I honestly think that's really lazy by the writers if that's the case, and I think running around as a speedster, putting your life on the line, is a bad case, might I say, of bad motherhood, just saying. The other option as to how Iris from Earth 1, you know, our Iris, could get these speedster powers is actually through Barry Allen himself, and that's through a speedster suit, not actual speedster powers. Like, this would be an actual suit that you put on and it gives her speed. In the comics, Barry once made a suit for Iris that would give her the power of speed. She herself didn't have these powers. Like, if she took off the suit, she couldn't, you know, run up and down really fast. But the suit, when on her, gave her these abilities. The only thing that goes against this is, like, why would Iris need this on the show? In the comics, there was an actual threat revolved around speed, but would this be the case on the show? You know, most likely not. And in the set photo, she's taken down criminals. So if Barry's giving her this suit, you know, to protect her, she's definitely, you know, going over the top with it, you know, running around as a crime fighter. Like, if Barry's giving her this to, like, protect her. So I do find it hard to believe that this would be the case. For those wondering as well, that is where that image comes from with Iris and that speedster suit that's going all around social media. Iris was never actually a speedster from the comics. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's canon, Pagey, it's canon." Yeah, it was in the comics for like literally 10 seconds, and then it went away. Like, it was not a big thing, and this was to protect her. She didn't actually properly become a speedster. She was just given a tool to do so. But anyway, and the final option as to how Iris will or could possibly become a speedster on the show is that it is once again Iris from Earth 1, however, it is Iris from another timeline on Earth 1. A timeline in which she is given speedster powers. This could possibly be a timeline where, like, maybe Iris visited Barry at his lab during the particle accelerator incident. Maybe they went there to watch it on TV and stuff like that, and she was the one who was struck by lightning, not Barry. In regards to why she would be over here in our timeline is a very good question. I don't think I'd be able to answer that. It could possibly be something to do with the Speed Force, and that is why she is able to get over here to this timeline, who knows. But even though this option is better than, say, Iris getting powers from our pregnancy, which I hate, I would prefer if the Iris that gets speed isn't a version from present day from Earth 1, regardless of what timeline she is from. So no present day Iris from Earth 1, no matter the timeline. It can be from the future, or multiverse, or something like that, or Jenny Ognat's. That's what I would prefer. I just don't really want Earth 1 Iris brought into it all. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below, which Iris do you think this is in the Speedster suit? Do you think it's, you know, just our normal Earth 1 Iris that gets powers? Do you think it's a multiverse? Do you think it's Jenny Ognats maybe from the future? Does anyone think it's actually Dawn Allen? And maybe Dawn Allen looks like Iris West, and you know, the girl we've been seeing show up this season is not Dawn Allen at all. So let me know all of your opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.